And we are back. Welcome back to the Wanna Parlay podcast. I'm Lance Bell. Next to me is Jack Neuheisel. Jack, why don't you tell the folks who powers this podcast?
As always, who powers this podcast and frankly, who powers my life in the world is Wanna Parlay, home of the world's richest parlay. Parlay is only going to cost you $2 around here, Lance. And every week, people are going home with 1,000 times their investment. Would you please say that back to me, Lance? 1,000 times your investment?
Folks, you're getting 1,000 times your investment.
Just so we are clear, if it's a messenger issue, I want you to hear it from Lance as well. 1,000 times your gosh darn investment. Is this not about making money? Really quick, listen to this leaderboard from last week. Raila went home with $2,000 on a $2 investment. That same bet would have only won him $158. Anywhere else, he would have placed it. A lot of people out there claiming boosted value. How's about doing $1,842 better than the next guy? Mamba 2003 went home with $450. Again, just on a $2 investment, 338 more than anyone else would have paid him for that same parlay. Our guy Joe Bags, who keeps moving up on the board and moving on up in life, continues to dominate, taking home another $300, 150 times his original investment. Folks, we could go on and on here. There's hundreds of these stories. Do yourself a favor and be the next one. Download Wanna Parlay using promo code TACO. Deposit and play. And by the way, big announcement, official today. Wanna Parlay is now offering deposit matching. First-time deposit will be matched up to $250. That means the tickets just got a little cheaper, Lance. We're talking $2 investment. Oh, no. It just got a little bit cheaper than that. So life's good. Once again, download Wanna Parlay, promo code TACO, make a parlay and start making money. And if there's still time, I'm not quite sure if there is, take NHU over Harvard tonight, +1 on the road. You can get it if you hurry.
Wait, what was that one? Who is it versus Harvard?
That's New Hampshire University at Harvard, +1.
I had no idea they were playing. Jack, you surprise me every time with the most random picks in college football. I respect it, though. A student of the game.
You're the face, I'm the brain. Someone has to actually go watch these games, and you have to go out and cut deals and get with chicks. I get it. That's that was the deal we signed when we started doing this show.
Oh, too good. All right, Jack. I say we start with our picks. Let's start firing.
Okay, we're going. Are we going to talk Thursday night at all? Because frankly,
I tried to skip it. You caught me. I tried to get by it. That was just a sad night. That was just a sad night.
It's important though. It's if we're going to be honest and represent ourselves honorably to our audience here, it's important that we own this stuff. It's not about winning, okay? It's about the fun, okay? If you've been watching long enough, you know going with us isn't necessarily smart. It's not what this thing's about.
It was not fun, Jack. That was not fun. That was not fun. That was heartbreaking.
No, it's heartbreaking. It's sad. It's painful. Reoccurring themes in my life these days. Not good. You know what? Fuck NFL overtime. I'm going to go ahead and say that. Fuck it in the face, mouth, and butt, man. I don't care for it even a little bit. There's been 3 overtimes this season. I've been on the wrong side of the coin flip every time, which has made me on the wrong side of the bet every time.
It's miserable. It's so tough, especially when you have college football overtime. That's just so much better. And when you just go into NFL overtime, and they've only changed it for the playoffs with the touch, you get a second chance to score. Where in the regular season, it's a touchdown, you lose. Yeah, I'm not. I'm with you. I don't like. I'm not a fan of NFL overtime.
How about just zero punting in overtime? Let's just go, okay, you get the ball from the 50. It doesn't have to be from the 25. And if we end in a tie, we end in a tie. I would be comfortable with more tying, but let's actually give both teams a chance to possess the ball. Okay? Let's let Baker be the guy that I promised our audience he would be, which, by the way, we got the Bucks team we expected to get. We pretty much got the game we expected to get. We get hosed on a bullshit non-face mask penalty. I mean, it's criminal.
It was so sad. I mean, the punch-out fumble, that one looked like he had a chance to break it off. Jesse Bates, hell of a player, hell of a play. That was depressing. The missed face mask, and then he gets more yards holding. I mean, it was tough. And then when he was in the red zone right by the goal line, the first one he got clobbered, but the second one he ran into his own guy and doesn't even get into the end zone. I'm like, rookie mistake, Bucky. You got to go home. You got to be free. Get in that end zone.
In spite of this all, I've actually gained some confidence on the NFL through that game because I think I think we know who Baker Mayfield is. I think we're going to be able to gamble on him very effectively going forward because I think we've got that guy figured out. Big spots, fade him, or when he's a front runner, and anytime he's an underdog and getting points, and Tom Brady's talking shit about him in the booth, let's go ahead and hammer him. We got the Baker we wanted.
Wait,
this Falcons team.
With Baker, I was a little worried that Amazon special came out where he was he like faked the Uncle Rico look and he was out there like surprising fans. I don't know. It was a lot of spotlight. It happened, came out right before the game. I almost was like, shit, Jack, we gotta flip our side. Like and we would have won. So I mean, it was brutal, but.
You might be onto something there. So let's pay attention for all ad drops and make sure, we're timing things up and sequencing it correctly. But I think we got the right big, and I still think we know who this Falcons team is. They just keep getting the ball last and keep getting to win somehow. Young Hoku is the guy. He's just the guy. But this Falcons team could easily be 0-5, and now they're 3-2. It makes no freaking sense to me. I'm eager to bet against them going forward. This run of luck just can't last. Just can't.
All right, let's go through what we had Thursday. Let's fire it off. Let's get through the pain. I don't know how much I want it just hurt. It hurt, Jack. I'm still hurting.
Well, let me get college off our plate. Congratulations, you took Texas State. You know nothing about them. Right now, quick trivia question. Where is Texas State?
San Marcos.
Damn you.
I heard you say it. I remember you saying those boys in San Marcos at some point on this show. So that's
I thought you were going to fire back with the state of Texas, of course.
I got lucky, and that's only because, like we said, the brains of the operation taught me something.
Yeah, dude, Troy sucks. Betting on bad teams is stupid. I'm stupid. Lesson learned. We'll try not to do it so much going forward. That team had decent expectations to start this year, by the way, and it's gone from disappointing to now being a nightmare. So thoughts and prayers with Coach Parker. Let's win a couple down the stretch. Let's get you to year 2. Get you a chance to get this fixed. And then the other shitty bet, which was a great bet, with the exception of 10 minutes out of the game, was the under 50.5 against UTEP versus Sam Houston. That game was 7-0 with 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And then 24 points got scored between the back end of the second and the start of the third. 10 minutes of game clock yielded 24 points. And just like that, doesn't matter how smart you are, someone on the field found out that's where my action was, and they fucking put their thumbs on the scale. It's extremely personal, and it's obvious to me. And then obviously I rode you on the Bucks. Fuck NFL overtime. I'm sick of it. Baker didn't cover his 250, but he covered every other prop, so he ended up netting me money just on the Baker proposition. Overall, a big loss. I continue just pour money off nothing but just a ridiculous need for pain, and I don't know. It's bad. It's bad over here, Lance.
No, I mean, I feel your pain. I mean, going through mine, yes, I got a W in college football, Texas State. I don't know anything about you, but God damn it, you gave me a win. NFL, yeah. Bucks money line, nope. Bucky Irving over 43.5 rushing, as we saw, nope. Godwin over 64.5 receiving yards. It moved to 67.5 right before the game. That's what was on my ticket. And no, he got stuck at 64. They never got the ball back. It was sad. But Evans did cover his 60.5 receiving yards. Rare W for Lance. And then the Bucky anytime touchdown. I mean, we had that opportunity. It was golden. And we shit down our leg when it ended up going to Mike Evans on a beautiful throw and play from Baker Mayfield. But that was an incredible game. At least if we had got a great Thursday night football game.
Yeah, you know what? We just haven't been great midweek players. We're weekend guys. We're
weekend guys. I like that.
Yeah. So that being said, are you ready to? Well, quick before we hit our actual picks, do you want to talk Friday night, and then we'll hit our clean slate here?
Yeah.
And with that being said, is your boy Papa still coming on? Clark,
yeah.
Clark, man?
I can. You let me know when you want him to join up. I can shoot him the text. He'll be in.
Well, I'm interested to hear him refute some of these points. So I'll save. Just know that I'm going Michigan State plus 23.5 tonight at Oregon. And I've got some research to back that up. So I'm excited to go toe to toe with them a little bit. So I'll leave my reasoning behind on that for a little bit, and give you my favorite pick of the Friday night. Syracuse plus 5.5. This line opened at 7. hung at 6.5 for quite a bit. The late closing line action took it again to Syracuse. So the money and the Sharks are telling you Syracuse is a good number here. UNLV is in a weird spot culturally. They just had their starting quarterback, Matthew Sloka, who was a big-time guy they were excited about from the transfer portal, leave under very weird circumstances. Apparently, UNLV reneged on a $100,000 NIL deal. Who's to say what actually happened there, as both sides are kind of playing it a little bit coy. But it's one of those things where it doesn't feel like something that would ever galvanize the locker room. It feels like something that might fracture it. So with that being said, Syracuse plus 5.5 tonight. Kyle McCord's going to play great. He threw 2 picks last week. So the other bet I love from this game is Kyle McCord, no picks. We're going to have a big emphasis on defending the ball. And now we've got the Plart man, Mr. Papa. How the heck are you?
We are doing great. I heard the end of that take. I gotta say, I disagree heavily.
On which one? We talking Oregon here? Or we talking UNLV?
I'm talking
Syracuse?
UNLV. I watched them
bring it on.
the week I bet on them last week. I heard about all the nil stuff. Their quarterback gone. Their defense is nasty. Their defense is gross, and they put up 58 or whatever they did, 48.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a good team. I think it's them or Boise getting the P5 spot,
Yeah, as it currently stands, I don't know that Fresno State is exactly looking yourself in the mirror, though. I think that
They're
Fresno
always
State
pretty
team
well
in the
coached.
post Jeff
Pretty
Tedford
well
era
coached.
is brand wise 100%. But then Jeff Tedford leaves earlier before the start of the season. They rocked this entire year on interim staff. They looked decent. They covered against Michigan earlier in the year. But outside of that, it's not been this Jake Hayne or Fresno State team we've grown accustomed to. I'm not reading too much into the big UNLV game of last week. I'm going straight to I don't know, man. You've raised some good points, but I like the orange and I like Kyle McCord. I think he's going to play well tonight.
Oh man, Papa has joined the show. Papa, first tell the listeners, how are you today?
Got off work early. College football on a Friday. My team, Oregon's playing. Probably just one of the best Fridays in the past month.
Hey, I'd love to hear it. Now, that's my next question. What's going on in this Oregon game? What can you tell us?
Well, I'll tell you, Oregon's gonna dominate. I don't know the spread is gonna cover. They're just gonna go out and be beating them by 14-20 the whole game, just like last week when they should have covered. They might just not do it, but they're gonna look good.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm with you. Oregon's going to win the game. I think their defense is going to look good. I'm not standing against the Ducks going to 5-0 tonight. I would almost guarantee that that's going to be the case. But 23.5 against Jonathan Smith, the former coach at Oregon State. They've played this game. He had 6 seasons at Oregon State. Okay, in the 6 games he played against Oregon, he would have covered this spread 5 of the times, and he won outright twice. This is a rivalry game for one guy, maybe 2 guys tonight, and that's head coach of Michigan State, Jonathan Smith, and the starting quarterback, Aiden Childs, who is also an Oregon State transfer. Papa, I hate to do this to you because I have such great respect for Nike Town and Eugene and Oregon, but I've spent my life hating the Oregon Ducks, and I can tell you, even after my dad got fired from Washington and UCLA, and they should have been my team, you just don't get over hating the Ducks. So Jonathan Smith and Aiden Childs, this is a personal one for him tonight. And 23.5 is a ton. Michigan State's defense has been solid. The question has been the offense. If we can just get a spark from Aiden Childs tonight, we're going to cover the 23.5. We're not going to win. We're going to cover that number.
I can't. After that just miserable pick 6 last week, I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon doesn't cover. So, I'm not going to disagree with there.
How are the vibes over there in Tracktown, by the way, with your quarterback right now? Because I know coming out of spring, Dante Moore was playing well, and all of a sudden there was some skepticism going into the season. And I know he was still the Heisman favorite, so it wasn't like it was enough to bother anybody. But so far, how are we feeling? Are we feeling as good as we felt preseason?
Well, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, the first 2 games, everyone was begging for Bo Nix back. I think we still want him back, but our defense has played a lot better. Gene T solidified himself as probably the Heisman, so I can't even be mad about that Boise game that much. And then it's just we need Evan Stewart to get more touches. He doesn't get the ball enough, and Gabriel, I get the screen passes, they work, but We need to throw some goddamn deep balls once in a while.
We need to
For
push
God's
those
sake.
DBs back. It was unbelievable against UCLA.
It's
But-
like we have all this talent and we just don't use it right. And like last year, Bo would throw short, but then we'd take a deep shot, like once or twice a quarter. We don't even take one a quarter anymore. It's crazy.
All I know is, maybe both you doubt the Oregon cover tonight, but I don't. I'm taking Oregon with the points. I think they would have covered against UCLA if it wasn't for that measly pick 6. And and I believe in them. I think their defense is going to stay strong. It's in Eugene, which the other game wasn't.
Eugene.
I mean,
You
we know.
inspired me. Oregon by 40.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I like Oregon. I like Oregon, but no, Jack, you made some valid points over there that I didn't know they had. The quarterback and the head coach were Beavers.
Here's the one.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Former Beaver himself too, played quarterback at Oregon State. Used to get beat by Washington back in that era. Whatever was going on at UW at the time. Anyway, if I could make one argument on the behalf of Oregon bettors tonight, I think we saw this game last week against Ohio State. Ohio State's been a very similar team where they're undefeated, but it's been a little underwhelming, specifically with the quarterback play. So if we see that exact game tonight, that means they're covering the number. They won 38-7 last week. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm just leaning on the former Beavers tonight.
Advocate.
That's what I do, man. I'm doing a talk show here.
That is so funny. All right.
Any other, before we let you go, any other takes for the weekend? Any other games you're going to be getting over?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning, Armed Forces. I mean, I know 2 of them are playing each other, but we're taking Army. We're taking Navy. They're hot.
Wow.
I've got Navy on my hot board. Way to go. There we go. We're back
I'm
on
sorry,
the same
Lance.
page.
Air Force is getting smoked. I'm
Hey,
sorry to say.
my Air Force brothers, I just wish them the best, man. I just wish them the best.
All right, fellas. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, Papa,
man.
we appreciate you joining, and you'll have to join soon.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
anxious to see Plarp officially cover some of these Wanna leaderboards. I want to see you go home with $2,000.
I'm
I'll
making
deliver
a
to you
big
personally.
one for tomorrow. A big one for tomorrow.
Love it
There
from you.
he is.
All right. Later, boys.
All right, later, Papa.
That guy's good people.
Yep, he's great, people.
He's
All
wrong
right.
tonight. He's good people.
Yeah, so wait, did you get through? You got through your Friday picks, or do you still have one
I
more?
got through my Friday picks. Now I was going to come back to the Oregon, but I basically covered my whole deal there. It's take Sparty plus 23.5 tonight.
Yeah, see, that's we're against each other tonight. I got UNLV covering, and I got Oregon covering. So I know we're good friends. I know we're cousins. I know we're family. But right now, like you showed, we're going head to head.
I'll see you in the one in chat room, you big bag of shits. It's on.
And then one last pick I have for Friday night. Not that I know anything about the WNBA, but I have the Las Vegas Aces covering 3.5 versus the Liberty. And why I have this is, the Las Vegas Aces are 2-time defending champs. I don't see a 2-time defending champ getting swept, but I don't know that much about WNBA, but I don't see him getting swept. They have the MVP, I think 2-time MVP, Asia Wilson. So give me the Las Vegas Aces. WNBA, that's right.
I kind of like it. I never know how to read Becky Hammon, as she is the WNBA's Greg Popovich. She came off the Spurs tree. She was obviously their summer league coach, a longtime assistant over there. She gave a very Greg Popovich-y interview where she's like, this is why it's tough to repeat. I mean, we just suck right now. We're down. We don't have it, which seems a lot of self-deprecation. It's a nice little bounce back time. Let's get Kelsey Plum, the best looking woman in sports, going tonight. I don't know why I felt the need to share that, but it's important to me.
Oh, I agree with you. I was gonna say we might have to post that to Wanda so we can at her and maybe get a little action. Hey, Darren Waller's out. Darren Waller's out of the mix for whatever was going on there. So
yeah, we got an ambitious slate. We got an ambitious month coming up. We're trying to get to Kansas City, bump into Taylor Swift, talk about our Fearless album, kind of see a Kelsey Plum game courtside. We got visions. We got plans.
Oh, that is too goddamn good. All right, Jack, do you want to move into Saturday? Saturday's your day.
Ooh, Saturday is my day. Yes, all too eager to talk about Saturday. Okay. We're going to take it from the top because we're doing this format a little bit differently this week. We're going to fly through and then we'll come back as to the reasons why. So I'm just going to hit a little one hitter, but we're going to fly through our Saturday and Sunday picks. So if you're ready and you're going to gamble with us or fade us this weekend, pencils up starting now. Let's rattle through. This is how we make money. Here we go. Saturday picks. First game out of the gate, 9 a.m. SMU plus 6.5 at Louisville. SMU is at its highest it's ever been since the 1980s. Book it. I like what they're doing. Go Kevin Jennings. I'm in. Navy minus 10. Navy's points this year, 41, 56, 38, 49. Different Navy team. Only 10 against an Air Force team that's not the same Air Force. I love Navy to cover the 10. Clemson minus 14.5 at Florida State. It's time to just admit it to ourselves. Florida State's bad, so is DJ. It just is what it is. Clemson's rolling. Take the points. Don't worry about it. Cal plus 10 versus Miami. Long road trip. Advantage coaching in that game goes to Cal. Justin Wilcox has played against Cam Ward before when they're at Washington State. Me likey Cal. And then Missouri plus 2.5. Don't overthink it. If they play well, they're just flat better than Texas A&M. They're going to get up for Kyle Fields. And then any Ryan Williams over you can get your hands on. 71.5 receiving's an easy one, as is the anytime TD at even odds. Those are your Saturday picks. Lance, take me to Sunday.
Boom, I'm taking you to Sunday. All right, we got the London game. I got Jets plus 2.5 versus the Vikings. Give me Aaron Rodgers, an experienced quarterback against Brian Flores. He's been dominating the young kids, but give me Aaron Rodgers. Sunday Night Football, I got Cowboys plus 2.5 at Steelers. Everything wanted me to bet on Steelers, and when I'm supposed to bet on the Steelers, I made that wrong decision against the Colts, so give me the Cowboys. Giants plus 7 at Seahawks. I just think it's a lot of points, and they kind of got dismantled by the Lions, and Danny Dimes is going to do his thing. I believe in him. Commanders minus 3.5 against the Browns. I'm on the Commander train. Jaden Daniels, I mean, the kid's amazing. That's it. I'm going to keep going. Bears minus 4 versus the Panthers. Revenge game for DJ Moore, and the organizations I don't think like each other after that. After the Bears fleeced the Panthers off the trade, so I think the Bears want to beat them. And those are my Sunday picks.
That sounded like fucking 11-0 to me, man. That's what that felt like.
Oh!
God, are we going to get rich this weekend? What are we going to do?
We're going to get rich this weekend. This weekend and then next.
We string a couple of these together. Fucking, we're buying the Yankees. Look out. Fucking pennant number 28. It's yours. So, as I go through your Sunday picks right there, and then feel free to come back and either support or be critical of my Saturday picks. But I liked what you had to say there. First of all, Jets plus 2.5 versus the Vikings in the London game. I think kind of the Packers showed a nice little blueprint in that second half against the Vikings on some things you can do to create some pressure, create some problems, make Sam Darnold get off his early reads. And I do think it's kind of a must-win start time. The Jets' record isn't terrible. They've lost games they shouldn't have. You get beat by the Broncos. Greg the Leg misses that kick. And then you get the weird thing with the snap count and his Saleh and Aaron Rodgers relationship all there. It just feels like this is a major plane ride coming home, one they need to be winners on, not losers for the Jets. You're getting points. I'd like them all day. I would take them straight up as well. Dude, you said it, and if you didn't, I was going to. Fucking Steelers as favorites, fuck them. Absolutely not. They let me down every time. Steelers as dogs, absolutely. I ride with you. Steelers as favorites in spots where they look like they should win, absolutely not. Now, having said this, it's a shitty game, dude. The Cowboys are so bad. They're so bad. But hopefully we get a good game plan. Dak Prescott reminds us why he's getting paid. And the Cowboys at least cover their number. We'll see if they win. Boswell late to snap your necks with a field goal. Could be the case. Giants plus 7, absolute must win. The Giants schedule is just getting tougher after the Seahawks spot. To go on the road at the 12th man is a tough spot. I don't see the Giants winning this game, but they're certainly going to play for the win the entire time and hopefully keep it close with inside that one possession. And then Commanders, absolutely, until they let us down, let's just keep hammering them because Vegas doesn't quite see. This is where Vegas fucks up because they see numbers, they don't see people. Fucking Jaden Daniels is a goddamn person. He's our hero, and we're going to ride him through the gates of hell. For God's sake.
Yes.
And then Bears minus 4 versus Panthers. To be honest with you, first instinct on the line, I'd lean Panthers in that one. I just haven't seen it yet from Caleb Williams. I know they just beat the Rams, but that Rams team's banged up as fuck, and it's especially the way kind of they're structured. The matchup just wasn't quite fair for the Rams because the Bears defense was just able to shut down Matthew Stafford and take away things that ordinarily they'd get to and keep him close in a game like that. So I'm not quite sold on the Bears, but I will say that line is suspicious. Maybe we ride with Vegas in this one and just trust them. Take the Bears -4. Caleb Williams wakes up with all his Jaden Daniels hype, starts playing like the number 1 overall pick, and they beat the worst team in football right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Caleb is getting better and better each week. I think he looked, somewhat decent, and that run game got really established against the Rams. Not saying the Rams have much of a run defense when my hero, my GOAT, Aaron Donald, decided to hang it up. But with that being said, the Panthers aren't good. The Panthers had one glorious week against the Raiders. They're shit. I'm taking the Bears. That defense isn't going to be very friendly to Andy Dalton either. So
I think
you go.
I think your instinct on Caleb Williams is absolutely correct. By the way, I think he's not at all a bust. It's just there's a little bit of a learning curve, and I don't think they've married the offense yet to him. I think it looked great in preseason because you're playing very vanilla, generic defenses where the shell doesn't change. And I think he's just a step slow as a processor because he's got such arm talent. He's always been able to do it with his legs to just buy the extra second he needs in the pocket. That I just think he's just a tick late right now. And so if they can clean up some of the reads for him, so he's not having to come back late over the middle. If he can just go like more like Washington is, where we can just get key reads, make 1-man reads, 2-man route concepts, and get the ball going and just soften up the defense a little bit. And then the other thing I'd love to see them do is go ahead and start messing around with some tempo. Start getting him some predictable looks, because when you start going up tempo, it ruins the ability for defenses to do a pre-snap shell and then change what they're doing. You start going fast, they have to line up and play in what they're in. I think that's how you get your rookie quarterbacks some early opportunities, some early confidence, and then you get out and rolling. Saw more of it against the Rams. I like to see even more of it against the Panthers, but it's a bad defense. It's a bad team. Let's take Caleb. Let's take the Bears.
Hey, you said it, not me. Give me all those picks. I'm going to be honest, though. This is probably the least confident I've been in my picks on this show, all across the board.
Your slate right there. Well,
yeah,
you're taking. What did I say at the top of the show? Betting on bad teams is stupid, and we're stupid guys. But you've got some bad teams on here. You've got, Cowboys, Giants are bad teams, and then Jets and Bears remain to be seen, but they could be bad teams. But you got the Commanders, and I love them. So, fucking
I mean, as we know, the NFL is tough. Anyone can beat anyone any given week. These are professionals, so it's a tough league. But
what'd you think about some of my Saturday picks? Specifically, we don't have to get too into most of them, but dude, are these Ryan Williams numbers for real? I can get Ryan Williams even money at 71.5 yards receiving against fucking Vanderbilt.
I'm blown away now that you're telling me that. I just had to process it. Wait, 71.5 Vanderbilt
is the number against Vanderbilt. When we're talking about the kid that just went for 171 against Georgia.
Guys, it sounds like free money.
It sounds like the fucking Devontae Smith season. It sounds like I'm going to keep betting this until I don't know what. Maybe quit this job and do painting or something. I don't know. I sit back on one of my passions.
No, that number sounds incredible. That sounds like actually like free money. And anytime touchdowns also at even odds?
Even odds.
Jeez. I might have to hammer that.
Guys, want to parlay? These are the numbers.
Jeez.
Just telling you. You feel like 1,000 times in your money?
Going into one of your Saturday picks that I have myself. I mean, I know Saturday's not my day, but I had a couple in there. I also have Clemson -14.5. Simply because I think DJ Ukulele is the biggest fraud in NIL history so far. And Clemson, after that Georgia game, has beat each one of their opponents by, I think, like 3+ scores. Like, they've kind of been throttling teams. So I don't see why it'd be different against Florida State.
Yeah, it's not like I think Clemson's like light years ahead of SMU. I actually would like to see that game, possibly the ACC championship. Who knows? Get hot, ponies. But Clemson is still, especially in the trenches and fucking Maffa in the backfield, a better run threat than SMU football is. And SMU just went and put up 240 on the ground against Florida State last week and was kind of doing it at will. They were doing it early. They were doing 4-minute offense late, being able to land them. They were doing it in spurts. A bunch of explosives came just through the ground game alone. So if Clemson can do that, and then you get Clemson's defense against DJ, who just, I mean, God bless the kid. Big fan of some of the stuff he's accomplished. I thought the Oregon State years were great to him. I don't know what the hell has happened to him, but they cannot seem to marry an offense to what he does well. They can't seem to get his legs to be a big factor to open up their passing game. It's time to just face facts and say Florida State is just bad. Clemson's way better, by light years better. This should be a no contest, easy cover. Now, I say that all to say we are talking about 18 to 21-year-olds who more often thinking about football are thinking about the women they go to school with. And so occasionally in the middle of the seasons, you get wacky games. So if we get burned, we get burned, but it's not because of any logical reason. The logic here says Clemson minus 14.5 all damn day long.
Yeah, I mean, and I could imagine Florida State players are starting to realize we're 1-4. This season's a fucking bust, like a shitter. So it's like, how could you have that much heart and passion on the field if you? It's tough. I don't see it, and Clemson is fighting for something.
I've been fans of losing teams for a long time, so I get it. But this is a team that was on the fuck you season. This is the team that got held out of the playoffs last year. They get one of the prize transfers in DJ to come along and play quarterback for them. This is a team that started preseason ranked top 10 and was basically one of the betting favorites to go to the playoff because of how top-heavy the ACC is. That gets beat in week 0 before the season started for many teams. They get beat in week 0 in Ireland at Georgia Tech. And since then, when we thought, oh, blip, it's in Ireland, they've looked shittier and shittier. And they haven't looked worse than they did last week, getting absolutely throttled. That score doesn't even suggest how unfair that contest was. That was varsity versus JV, and it was SMU's versus Florida State. It's the most confusing thing I've ever seen on a Saturday. Go Ponies. Florida State, you're down bad. I feel for you. I really do.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Florida State and their fans in the past, so it's rest in piss, Seminoles. Rest in piss.
Can I revisit one more of my takes?
Yeah.
It's a total, I apologize for my language, but it's a total jerk off segment I'm giving myself here. It's a total pat myself on the back 2 minutes here. But Cal plus 10 versus Miami is going to happen. Cal might win that game straight up.
You don't think, I have a question. You don't think Miami responds heavily after that almost loss to Virginia Tech? That's my biggest thing.
It wasn't like a culture game where it's like, congratulations, they survived. I think it was more concerning than it was like, oh, okay, now we're going to bounce back and play great. I think that Miami team is underachieving. I think they looked fantastic in that Florida game, but who the hell is Florida? Okay. Right. Cam Ward is a baller, no doubt. I've talked to people that have been on the coaching staffs against him. There is a script there. If you have the guys, Cal defense is very stout. Justin Wilcox is a very well-respected defensive coach. Cal's starting running back, who's a preseason Heisman hopeful, is now back and healthy. He's going to be playing this week. So I'm just saying, you keep that game close. It's a weird-ass, sleepy, really late game. Remember, this is an 8 p.m. West Coast game that Miami's traveling 6 hours for. By the way, 8 p.m. on the West Coast is 11 o'clock their time.
I mean, you're making some valid points.
It smells real right for an upset right there. I'm taking the 10, but just if you're down bad already in this week and you need a miracle parlay, make sure you attach that to the end of it. Moneyline Cal. Let's go. Go Bears.
Go Bears. But man, Stanford and Cal being in the ACC just pisses me off. Like, why? What is this cross country nonsense we got going on? Like, we couldn't.
You have a problem with the California teams being in the Atlantic Coast Conference?
No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's fucking blasphemy. I think it's a joke. I'm like, what are we doing here? I mean, it's like torture for these Miami kids that have to go there and play at 11 p.m. at night at their time on a 6-hour flight, like you just said. And we also have the Bruins are going to Penn State. How brutal is that for them? They got to go to Happy Valley and travel all the way over there.
It's tough out here now. And I'll say this, just to double down on that. It's a shorter flight from Miami to go to the European coast than it is to go to Northern California. Just
That is sick.
something to think about.
That is
Something to think
sick
about.
work. They should schedule their games in London. Let's bring college
it's a
football to
conference.
London.
And it's a conference game. But as an SMU man, this is the chaos we need. I need a conference loss to go towards Miami.
That is true. That is true. And I'm rooting for your SMU team. That'd be really cool for you guys to actually get going.
SMU's only problem. SMU last year was the best first quarter team in the country. I think a lot of our shit comes off the first quarter. For example, the only game we've been losing so far after the first quarter was the BYU game. That's where we go and get beat. I think the first quarter is essential. This is a 12 o'clock Eastern, meaning 11 a.m. Central for SMU. Played nothing but late afternoon or night games. Just trying to get off as an underdog early in the morning. I just would love, I don't know, because that first quarter is essential if you're going to be the underdog and go steal a win. You got to go win that first quarter. I just, they're a morning operation. They practice at 6 in the morning. They're used to competing in that hour, but it's a storyline to be aware of.
Damn, that is. Then didn't Louisville just lose to Notre Dame?
Louisville just got beat by Notre Dame. Tyler Show entered that game having not thrown a pick through 3, I believe. And they also turned the ball over on a couple. They were like 1 for 4 on 4th downs or something like that. So, Notre Dame defense banged them up a little bit. But this is an SMU team now that's leading the nation in turnovers and points off turnovers and defensive touchdowns. Okay. Now, how long can that hold up? Can you just continue to have pick sixes and fumble returns for touchdowns? I don't know what the rules are. I'm not God. Maybe. Why not?
Why the hell not? Man. That Notre Dame, I mean, their defensive backs. Who's that one kid that there's one of the corner that's going first round?
Yeah, Freak 1 and Freak 2. They're both going to get drafted and play a long time on Sundays. They're very good players.
They're unbelievable. Another one I had on Saturday, I got Michigan money line at UW. I think Jed Fish and UW's a year away. Like they have to rebuild all those players just went in the draft at Washington. The whole culture change. I mean, DeBoer, I believe his name is the Bama guy. He left. He took they have a year before they start making noise again.
Washington had 12 guys drafted. You lose Kalen DeBoer, you lose Ben Grubb, their offensive coordinator. You lose that entire staff, and now you're rebuilding with Jed Fish. Now Jed Fish, no slouch, had great success at Arizona. Actually, a friend of the family, was in the Ravens back in the day. Was a coach to Jer Bear at UCLA for a smidge of time.
There we go.
Shout out to Amber and Zaley. Go Fish family. But Jed Fish had a sleepy start his first year at Arizona and then turned it on, and they all of a sudden, we're playing in New Year's Six Bowls. So sit tight. Washington's a place you can win at. It's been proven by some folks in the past. Wink, wink. But to your point, it's not the year. And Michigan, that team we saw against USC, granted it's at the Big House, but that's a thing that can get packaged up and put down in a lot of different games, and it's a great thing to take with you on the road. It's not super reliant on anything through the air. We're going to dominate on defense. We're going to dominate the run game. We're going to win the turnover battle. Old school fundamental football principles. Let's go get a dub. Love the Michigan take. Going to add it to my card.
Love it. Love it. All right, Jack. I think that's all. Do you got anything else that you want to add to today's show?
Do you have internet access right now?
I do have internet access right now.
Google the Harvard score for me really quick. Let me see how we're doing.
Let me Google Harvard.
This is going to be a big, important omen as to how we're feeling this week, because that was the kind of feel myself pick.
Right now, they are down 7-0 to New Hampshire Wildcats. I'll even show it for the stream.
So my point being,
is New Hampshire's
up 7-0. New Hampshire's up 7-0.
Yeah.
Let's go. That was my pick.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you took Harvard or New Hampshire.
No, I'm getting New Hampshire with the points. Harvard just gets to be Harvard because obviously they're fucking Harvard. But so they, like Notre Dame, like USC, like the Cowboys, they get favorable lines because people don't fucking watch them. They just know that they're Harvard and Harvard's supposed to be better. And who the fuck's UNH? UNH is a quality FCS program. Harvard just got beat by Brown. If there's still a shitty live line out there, go ahead and chase it, because I'm telling you, UNH in that game. It's a good omen, Lance. Get hot, stay hot, baby.
Jack, I want to give you a compliment. You might be the best FCS bettor. I for sure that I know. You might be the best out there.
Well, there's not a lot of us.
I don't think I don't know if you've missed on this show. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think you've missed an FCS bet.
I need to stay in that world. I need to stay the fuck away from high-paying football where there's rigged jobs. I need to go where the football is pure and it's real and the winner actually wins. That's where I'll make my money. So stay tuned. Maybe that's the strategy going into next week. And then, Lance, before we sign off, just because what the hell, it's Friday. Got a little time before it's 5 o'clock anyway. Any thoughts on baseball? Are you not so much a baseball guy?
I mean, I enjoy baseball, but I'm an Angels fan, so it's really led me to not enjoy baseball.
Well,
you go ahead though. Tell me something. Teach me something.
Well, from my experience on Wana, if you're a guy that likes to bet some same game parlays, now you're always going to on a Wana bet, you're going to have to place at least 2 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a little bit more variance you can get in terms of layering some same game parlays. So if you're going to play a narrative and you're looking at some of these baseball games coming up this weekend are going to be unbelievable. The NL series we're looking at, it's the first time the Mets and the Phillies have ever played together in the postseason. It's a rivalry and they've never played against each other.
I was going to say, that sounds close, and they're both NL, so that sounds legit.
And 2 fan bases that absolutely hate each other, hate each other's cities, hate everything to do with each other. So that's going to be absolutely sick. And then that's honestly the silver medalist in the NL, because the better series is Dodgers Padres. We get Shohei Ohtani's first time in the postseason, and 2 fan bases that really fucking hate each other. Okay, calm down, shit. East Coast white people. It's different out here on the West Coast. These people are fucking crazy.
Oh my god,
that's proven, by the way. I mean, fucking look up lawsuits and stuff. It's crazy over here. Okay, LA Dodge fucking gonna be heavy.
Dude, I mean, that looks incredible. I did see the Mets. Pete Alonso, fucking
the polar bear,
unbelievable. He's like the first player in MLB history to hit a go-ahead home run 9th inning or later in a winner-take-all game.
Yeah, maybe in his first postseason home run or something like that.
No. No, that's the stat I read. First MLB player in history to hit a go-ahead home run in a winner 9th inning or later, winner take all.
Yeah, I think so. That wild card team wins. The Tigers win. The Royals go through, beating the Orioles. The only non-wild card team to not win their series this weekend was the Padres. So the Braves go home, Padres move on. But Padres are also a wild card team. So what am I even talking about? Just the favorite. But the point being, Lance, a little fun fact on the MLB postseason right now. First time since 2014, there's not been a single team to have a 100-win season. So we've got no clear-cut favorites here. I think literally every team still playing from here on out could win it. The Tigers are hot as shit. They're unpredictable. They're fucking weird. They play different lineups all the time. The Royals have 4 bona fide pitchers they're willing to throw out. Bobby Witt, I mean, honestly, if there wasn't an Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani in playing baseball, he'd be the best player in baseball right now. So look out for the Royals. Yankees, who haven't won a World Series since 2009, longest drought in franchise history, by the way, chase their 28th ring. And then, so tons of plot lines going on, man. I know we've got good college football going on, but check out some October baseball. And if you're going to do it, getting some picks out there on Wanna Parlay.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to hit you up on the side to see what baseball you like. But my God, you kind of just got me fired up about baseball, and you're the first person in the history of my life to get me fired up about baseball.
Let's go, baby.
Dude, that is good.
I wouldn't trust anything I have to say. It's not been good. I've lost money on every game basically so far. There's been some mixing and matching, but you lose the big, so you suck anyway. Anyway, that's all I had to say. I'm over it.
That's awesome.
I got UNA shop. I'm gonna have a cocktail. Watch my winnings. Just pour it in. There's nothing but good research. You do the work, you should get paid for it.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, and also we got NBA preseason and NHL preseason. Jack, sports are back. Sports are coming back in full effect. We went through that summer drought. Football has been phenomenal so far, especially college football, like you've said in the past, more than NFL. But now we got basketball, and now we got hockey. I don't know much about hockey, and my knowledge is getting a little better, but I'd say the sport I know most about is basketball. So
maybe 3 great blips in the sports calendar year. It's this time. It's right around Christmas and just when we start getting NFL playoffs, but we're starting to get meaningful NBA games as well. And college basketball is really starting to heat up there. And then Masters weekend. Just Masters weekend.
Masters weekend. I mean,
Just Masters weekend. That's
Masters weekend. I love that. All right, Jack, take us home.
As always, Lance, this was a blast. We will see you back here on Monday and then the following Wednesday and Friday until we die. So however long that takes. And as always, this thing is powered and brought to you by Want to Parlay. Rush over there now. First-time depositors, you are going to be matched up to $250 deposit match program. It's $2 bets, guys, and they just got a whole heck of a lot cheaper. We talked about it at the top of the show. It's the only place where people are 1,000 times their money. 100 times their money every single week. So don't miss out on it. The main event 5, we've got some people up on the leaderboard already. Contest doesn't close until Sunday night, so go ahead and chase it. The pick 7's back up and running this weekend. You get 7 picks right, you're going home with $777. Pretty freaking cool. And then, guys, closing still open until October 27th. The Wana Wing House joint merger of the century, bringing you the VIP experience of a lifetime too. All expenses paid. Tickets to Monday Night Football, Chiefs, Bucks, couple doors down from Taylor Swift. Consequences, serious stuff. Do you care about yourself? Prove it. Get some action in there.
Oh, Jack, I love it. I love it. All right, folks. Appreciate you joining in. We're going to give you a final salute. There it is. Adios. Till next time.